By the time the desert wind erased his footprints, Noam had one decision left: turn back to safety with everyone else, or walk alone toward Aruma. Noam was a young Israelite from the tribe of Judah, a tent maker's son who counted time by the creak of leather and the snap of canvas. The camp had been moving for months, a human river threading the wilderness, following a cloud in the day and a pillar of fire at night. Miracles were the talk of mornings. Complaints were the soundtrack of afternoons. Noam heard both, but believed neither all the way. He was the kind of person who measured rope twice and still pinched the knot. He had a private habit. At dusk, he'd climb a ridge and stand very still, just listening. In the silence, the desert said two things: I will test you, and I will tell you the truth. Most people only heard the first part. One week, the rumor started. A cut in the stone somewhere east. An oasis hidden like a sealed letter. The elders shrugged. The scouts laughed. There were maps, but they were more memory than ink. The rumor was a thread. Noam's fingers itched to tug it. That night, he lay awake, staring at the tent's seam, thinking about the difference between fear and wisdom. Fear says, stay small. Wisdom says, stay rooted. They sound the same until you try to grow. Before dawn, he packed 3 water skins, a coil of rope, a chisel his father had dulled into a tool for notching wood, and a strip of dyed cloth. He told no one but his sister Tirzah, who always asked the question others avoided. Are you leaving, she whispered, or arriving somewhere? Both, he said, and smiled like it was simple. He walked east while the sky unfurled from bruise to honey. The sand took his steps, then gave them back as heat. He kept a steady pace and a moving prayer. Let my doubts walk behind me, not beside me. By midday, he was alone with the sound of his breathing and the itinerant arguments of a desert wind. He found a ridge shaped like a sleeping lion. From there, the land fell away into broken stone, fractures like lightning caught mid-strike. He scanned the ravines for the color of life. Anything, not the stubborn palette of rock. Nothing. He almost turned back. Almost. Then he saw it. The shape of a palm etched into a cliff, a stain on the stone, barely darker than its neighbor. The kind of detail you miss unless you have trained your eyes to stay after your patience wants to leave. He scrambled down, palms and knees raw, and found an opening thin as a promise. Inside, the air shifted. Cool, not cold. He followed the narrow corridor until it opened into a chamber where the ceiling glittered with salt like constellations. Water, clear as a kept vow, pooled in a basin of limestone. Noam didn't shout. He knelt, cupped, drank, then laughed. Quietly, the laugh that happens when fear slips off like an old coat. He refilled his skins, dipped the strip of cloth until it flushed dark, and tied it to his belt. He thought about running back and announcing the find, but the rumor was a thread. What mattered wasn't just the end of it, it was the weave. He took the chisel and carved a notch in the rock outside the crack, an arrow pointing inward. Then another, 30 paces away, then another, as far as his patience outlasted the sun. On the ridge, he planted his rope between 2 stubborn stones and tied to it a tatter of the dyed cloth, so the wind would speak a little louder here. He marked a path not only to the water, but to the idea that ordinary hands could make a way through the ordinary day.